Through knowledge, expression, and reflection, we have the opportunity to empower the Pomona community. We break apart the door of no return and use the fragments to build a new space where the community can learn, express themselves, and reflect. The programs driven by these ideas include a museum, kids center, and meditation cafe. Using 2nd Street as a threshold which embraces downtown Pomona, we welcome the community with outdoor classrooms, large gathering spaces, and serene gardens.
The Bridge of Insight is a connection between the two important elements of museum and education center. The bridge, which sits on top of 2nd Street, is meant to allow for an area that holds events and exhibits. Both programs hold curved walls which house either gallery spaces or educational rooms. Throughout the exhibit, there are light boxes that act as areas of reflection, tranquility, and relaxation. Ultimately, the glass box that sits on top of 2nd Street is meant to house areas of conversation and knowledge that will help us better understand African American history.
The Expression Building, which sits on the northeast side of the site, is about an experience which allows the existing path from the site to directly impact the building. The forms and spaces are derived from the deconstruction and reinterpretation of the door no return. From there, the circulation is heavily emphasized by having a ramping system throughout the spaces, which creates a connection between the two main programs. This Children's Voice Center encourages kids to have access to creativity, education, as well as a say. The space itself has a play center, daycare, education center, and platforms to uplift and empower children. There are also allowed easy access to the Communication of Arts Gallery, which incorporates art from the museum as well as from the existing artists of 2nd Street.
The performance space is located front and center on our site, east of the Knowledge Building and on both sides of 2nd Street. In order to empower the community, there are 5 large platforms that can be activated by large gatherings, such as protests, festivals, or farmers markets. The elevations of empowerment bring together the entire site with boardwalk pathways crossing 2nd Street and extending to each building. In order to further activate the site, there are picture pebbles hidden throughout that, when found, can be scanned on your phone to show educational photos of the African American experience.
Exiting the south side of the museum, visitors will enter an outdoor classroom space where students can interact and learn from one another about everything they experience throughout the museum. Continuing down south of the site, visitors will circulate into a dense forest of trees. Within this forest, there are these little nooks of open space where people can gather and relax in these hammock groves. As they pass through these clearings, there's an interactive water feature where kids can play and splash in this expressive space. Then as visitors move towards the east side, they wander into a more quiet and calming space where they will find a meditation pavilion where visitors can meditate and reflect. Overall, our entire site revolves around the big idea of empowerment, where we display through knowledge, expression, and reflection, all in connection with the door no return. But we flip that experience into a positive and safe emotional experience to have a better connection and understanding of African American history and how we can empower them. Thank you.